London's going to talk about the Texas Constitution.
Thank you. Okay, so whenever we watch a lot of TV shows, right? We see people get up on the stand and say, I plead the fifth. Or they get arrested and they say, I plead the fifth. So, pop quiz, what are they trying to invoke? What right are they trying to invoke when they say, I plead the fifth? Self-incrimination. That's right. We have a right against self-incrimination. But now, a few months ago, we were talking about this, and so I'm going to assume that everybody remembers the pop quiz about the First Amendment and how many rights there were enumerated in the First Amendment, right? I'll give you a little hint. 5, right? There's 5 rights enumerated in the First Amendment: freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of assembly, freedom of religion, and freedom to petition the government for redress of grievances, right? Okay, so there's 5 in the first. Guess what? You know how many's in the fifth? There's 5 in the fifth as well. And so we often assume when somebody's saying I'm pleading the fifth that they're talking about self-incrimination, because that's in there. That's not the only one in there. So also in the fifth, we have a right for a grand jury, right against double jeopardy, right against self-incrimination, okay, so due process, and just compensation for eminent domain. Okay, so those are the 5 that are listed in the Fifth Amendment. And so double jeopardy is one that I want to talk about tonight. And so in that Fifth Amendment, it says, nor shall any person be subject for the same offense be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb. And in the Texas Constitution, we have something very similar. In our Bill of Rights, Section 14 says double jeopardy. No person for the same offense shall be twice put in jeopardy of life or liberty, nor shall again be put on trial for the same offense after a verdict of not guilty in a competent jurisdiction. So the language kind of starts out the same, and it's really not a difficult concept to think if you think about it, because I'm going to switch gears just ever so slightly to get there. In that letter from the Anti Baptist Association to President Thomas Jefferson, they cited what our original citizens of the United States thought the only legitimate purpose of government was. Do y'all remember that? We talked about that one as well. The only legitimate purpose of government, according to some of our original citizens, extends no further than to punish the man who works ill against his neighbor. Okay, so that's kind of what I do, right? Punish the man who works ill against his neighbor. But guess what? There's some limitations on those punishments, right? There's some limitations on the government trying to punish those who work ill against their neighbor. One of those limitations is double jeopardy. That means I can't say, you know what, you worked ill against your neighbor, I'm going to slap the cuffs on, we take you and you go to trial, and I didn't get the verdict I like. So what do? Let's try you again. No, I can't do that. Because what would it be if I just have to keep trying you again, until I finally get the verdict, right? So we have that limitation where we can't continually try you again for the same offense. Now there's another little concept called a lesser included offense. And lesser included offense, I'm going to kind of revert back to my New Mexico days, just because I know the language better. The easy example I can think of is burglary. So burglary in New Mexico is defined as an unlawful entry with the intent to commit theft or felony therein. So when somebody would go in and shoplift at Walmart, we'd give them a ticket for shoplifting or maybe arrested, and we'd also issue them a trespass warning, which means they're not allowed back in Walmart. So what happens a few months later when they go back in Walmart and shoplift again? Guess what? They have now committed a burglary because they unlawfully entered and committed a theft therein. So we charged them with burglary, but we couldn't also charge them for trespass. Why? Because we're charging them for the same offense twice. That would be double jeopardy. That makes sense. And so it kind of feels like we're sitting through a little mini law class this evening, but why are we doing that? I'm going to go back to one of the quotes that I gave the very first time that I was up here speaking. And this is from Samuel Adams. He says, "No people will tamely surrender their liberties, nor can be easily subdued when knowledge is diffused and virtue is preserved. On the contrary, when people are universally ignorant and debauched in their manners, they will sink under their own weight without the aid of foreign invaders." It is important for us to know what our rights are. It's important to learn these things so that we don't unknowingly surrender them. So let's get educated. Let's get involved. You're
is
not
all here
then
to
being
have.
charged for the same offense twice. That's a double jeopardy.